Hello, my three people, and welcome back to the Triple A-Pex Podcast. This is episode 19, and of course, I'm your host, 3LNEX, and then we have our co-host, Keeper, here, and our other co-host, Vysion, is finally back, so say hello to those two.
Hello.
Hi.
and yeah, episode 19, once again, and this is a kind of a big episode because Season 11 of Apex Legends started not too long ago, approximately a week ago, whatever. And we got quite a few things to talk about in terms of Season 11. We're going to be giving our thoughts on it. Vysion will try to get himself caught up on everything. And we're even going to talk about some little data mine information that goes over future events, including some stuff that could lead up to knowing what the next anniversary event is going to be like. So without further ado, let's get introduced into our thoughts about Season 11, and I think we should start off with Keeper's thoughts. So, do you want to give your thoughts about Season 11?
Yes, I think this season is honestly really good. The only thing I don't like about it is the battle pass. Everything is perfect though. Like everything else is perfect. There wasn't any server issues with the launch, and
Yeah.
the new character Ash is actually pretty good. I think people are talking about nerfing her, which I don't think needs a nerf. I think she's actually really well. The only thing that isn't good with her is her tactical, but I mean everything else is fine. And the new gun is okay. I think the recoil is pretty hard to understand,
Oh,
but
yeah.
besides that, it's pretty good. And the map is beautiful. People aren't liking it because of the verticality, and people
It's also really big.
yeah, it's also huge. I think there should be more, I don't know. People are still saying that there's a lot of third partying in that map, even though it's huge. But the map overall it's a pretty map. I like it. The only thing people are complaining about is the actual gameplay of playing on the map. You know what I mean? Like the verticality of it.
Yeah.
But besides that, it's a very pretty map, and I like it. And I like the gravity cannons that they have.
Yeah, the gravity cannons are really fun on Stormpoint. Season 11 honestly has been a really good season so far. It's had a pretty smooth launch, similar to the launch of Season 10. Like, we don't have the server issues. We have a pretty decent legend. In my opinion, well, I just bought Ash not too long ago. She is a pretty balanced legend, I would say. I do think her tactical needs a little bit of a buff to its travel time, though, because they said you had to be precise with Seer's tactical, like when he was first, or right before he came out. But I feel like Ash's tactical is the thing you gotta be precise with. And you gotta use it up close or whatever. But Ash is a really cool legend, and she's really fun to play. Her ultimate is pretty nice. Ash is a good legend. One of the more balanced legends that is released, kind of similar to Valkyrie. Like, Valkyrie came to balance state, and I think the same kind of went for Ash as well. And I can agree the Battle Pass is not the best. I still bought it, though, because I don't know.
Yep, same.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that's not really a plus. Well, we got no server issues. We got a pretty cool legend. The car SMG is a pretty good weapon, I would say, but its recoil is so ironic because in Titanfall 2 it barely had any recoil at all. But now
Yeah.
it's in Apex. It has the most recoil out of all of the SMGs. So it's meant to be like a close ranged weapon now, which is interesting to say the least. Like, they do a complete 180 on its recoil and how it operates in Apex Legends. But the car is still one of the greater weapons now. I actually think it's a little bit better than the R99, to be honest, because I think it has a little bit of a better DPS. I feel like its reload time is also pretty quick. Like the car, I feel like it's really solid as a weapon. And back to Stormpoint. Stormpoint is a really nice map, really beautiful. The gravity cannons are also really fun. And I think there's a lot of things you could do with the gravity cannons, like for any insane plays or whatever. And yeah, Stormpoint, really nice map. It is really big though, which is kind of a downside, I would say. Well, I guess it's kind of a downside, not really much of a downside, because you probably won't be coming across like a whole lot of teams. But like loot, you really should pretty much really try to loot, because I think people have been saying that the loot hasn't been too great on the new map, which I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like loot's been all right for me so far, at least. I feel like I've had decent amount of luck. I mean, I did get two 2k damage games today, which was pretty nice, and on Stormpoint. obviously, since we've pretty much Storm Point has been the only map you could play for the first week of Season 11. We'll be having the chance to play on, I think, is it World's Edge or Olympus? I forgot which map.
I think it's World's Edge.
Yeah. So we're gonna have 2 maps in rotation after this upcoming Tuesday, and it's gonna be a Storm Point and World's Edge. So Olympus and King's Canyon are out of rotation. I kind of wish they still had 3 maps though, because I like playing on Olympus a little more than King's Canyon. But it's whatever. Like Storm Point.
I think Kings Canyon is my little map tier list. I think Storm Point is probably gonna be like, up there. You know what I mean? Because it's a very pretty map, and it does have more features, I guess. Because it has those gravity cannons, and it has insane verticality, and it's huge, and it has AI life.
And got Trident.
I think and Tridents. I think World's Edge is probably one of my favorite maps. To be honest, I love World's Edge, and I mean Kings Canyon isn't. I think would go Kings Canyon, like from least to best. Like I think it would be Kings Canyon, Olympus, World's Edge, and then Storm Point at the moment. You know what I mean? Because World's Edge or Storm Point is new, and I haven't even looked at everything that's on the map still.
Yeah.
It's so big.
Storm Point is something that you should still try to explore because it's big. Like, it's 15% bigger than World's Edge from what was said in the patch notes. Like, it's a big map, and there's a lot to explore, and a lot of rotation potential, and the gravity cannons do make it a little easy to rotate throughout the map. So that's kind of a plus, to be honest. There's only 1 jump tower on Storm Point, which is nuts, to say the least. And it's a big jump tower, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I can agree. Storm Point is one of the best maps, I think, in the rotation. I don't know if it's I don't know if I'd say it's tied with World's Edge. World's Edge will always hold a place in my heart in terms of maps or whatever. But I don't know. Storm Point I've had a bit of luck on now, so that's really nice. And yeah.
Didn't Season 11 kick off with just mass amounts of balance changes? Like, I've seen that there was so many different balance changes, and I think didn't Watson get changed a bunch as well?
Oh yeah, Watson got a pretty big
buff. Oh yeah,
buff.
she got a huge buff.
New hitbox.
Yeah, they increased her hitbox a little bit, and then
they made her fat.
And pylon.
she's not fat. She's just a little bigger. She's putting on a little weight. She's putting on a little bit of weight.
And got a little bit taller along with that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
she had a growth spurt.
They made her fences and her pylon more effective. Like, you could probably check out exactly what that stuff is in the patch.
Yeah, they're a lot faster.
Yeah. And
they're very much faster.
Yeah. And you can and there's more distance on them, I think, as well. Unless I'm tripping, but I don't know.
I'm trying to remember, but what's Ash's passive and tactical again? I know she has the portal as an ult, but I don't remember what the other 2 are.
The passive is marked for death, which allows her to stick a data knife in a death box, and she can see the location of where the team that killed.
Yeah, she's the third-party hero, right.
And she can also see where recent death boxes are on the map, which is pretty crazy. And that's actually the part of her kit that most people will say will most likely get nerfed, because that is really powerful information to the team.
Yeah, it is. It's very good. It's a very good passive. It's probably one of the best passives.
Just that much intel.
Yeah, like you can literally see when somebody dies. Like, that's huge. Because you can pretty much see where people are on the map, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of loot. Like, if you're in mid game, I think it's more powerful in mid game, because you can see where everyone's dying, where fights end, and you can get a good position because you can see where people are leaving from, choke points and stuff like that. And I'm guessing the only downside to Ashe is probably her tactical. It's just not as powerful.
Yeah, her tactical, like I said earlier, it travels at a slow pace. Like, I see it's something that you gotta use up close because of that slow travel time. And while the tether feature I do think is really good, because it can keep an enemy that's out in the open in place, and you can just mow them down and kill them. Because that's a free kill right there. But I think it does need a slight buff, in terms of its travel time again, and maybe its damage a little bit, because I feel like...
I think
Well,
I
I
think
don't
that
know.
Is
maybe it
it?
should stun the enemy. I think maybe
Yeah,
it should stun
it's
the
a
enemy for a
trap,
couple
isn't it?
seconds.
Yeah, because it's a
Yeah,
snare,
it
and
is.
snares are supposed to like trap
I
a little
think
more.
do damage, immobilize them for like a second or two, and then afterwards have like a couple seconds of a debuff that like slows your movement a little bit, or like it's like a wounded state.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it should. I think it should stun the enemy for like a couple seconds, but it should still have them snared.
yeah.
Yeah, because in Overwatch, Junkrat has a trap, and what it does is it'll trap you
Oh
for
yeah,
4 or 5. I know all I know is it's fucking broken, and you can still move and use your abilities. You just can't move at all. They're like I think there's only like one hero that can still, or no, nobody can move out of the trap.
Yeah, I mean you can still move out of the snare. Like
yeah,
it's pretty slow moving, and you can dodge it. But if it hits you like in the radius, it pretty much hones on you. But
Yeah.
um, but you can still use your like abilities, I guess. Like you can phase, you know.
Mhm.
But I think that's it. I think because you can't really like once it yanks you, you can't really like octane pad out of there. You can't really grapple out of there. I'm pretty sure that you can only phase out of there because it negates everything around you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Still have the ability to fire and everything, and of course move, but you're tethered and yeah, you're being kind of controlled in one specific area,
Oh, is it
pretty
like to
much.
where you're stuck to one like little area for a bit? You can't move out of
Yeah,
that area?
yeah, you're like stuck in
Pretty
a
much.
radius.
Gotcha, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like a
But I just feel
little.
like for like the pro players, like that Ash is gonna be really good for like going for those really high kill matches, just that really aggressive play style.
Mm-hmm.
You could run like you can run like Ash and Octane, and then you could scan them, and then Octane puts out a jump pad, and you just fucking soar over there. Or like Valkyrie
I'd probably.
flying above.
Yeah, I find that Ash won't will not be that good probably in like early ranks, but not comp at all, because comp is a lot more it's a lot more position based, and the only reason why Ash would be good is for her mid game and early game like seeing who's getting killed and where like fights happen, and her ultimate. Her tactical will not be that useful because not much people are going to be moving out in the open like that, and I feel like she would only be very useful for like high kill games and casual gameplay because it's a lot less like high stakes, I guess, and because there's a lot less thought into it in a way.
Yeah. I feel like Ash's ultimate is really good, and I think that's what does give her comp potential. Especially how, like, I feel like she could be a runner up character to kind of replace Octane in some circumstances because of her ultimate, how it operates. Because it can, well, it doesn't operate in the same way as the jump pad, obviously, but it can replace that in the sense that you can try pushing or any quick escapes, and you won't be able to get hurt. Because even though, like, Octane's jump pad has been reworked to the point where it's harder to hit enemies in the air because there's that double jump, then there's like the the freaking velocity or whatever. Like you with Ash's portal though, like you're in a void and you can't be hurt, so that's what makes her like a good replacement for Octane in some compositions. And then
Yeah,
yeah,
I could see that, but like the way she works, I feel like Wraith would outplay her in comp because you can still like move, like you can change where you're going, and not only that, but you can like go back. That's a big thing. You can go back and you can like in the zone, like you can pretty much negate the zone damage by keep going back and forth. And Ash can't do that because it's a one way. But I mean, technically, you can run back to the entryway and then go back, but that's not going to be as effective.
yeah, Ash's
And
portal is like more of something to be used like for any like straightforward pushes or any straightforward escapes, pretty much.
yeah, like I feel like she would be really good for like a Revenant. But you're gonna have to like finish it. I feel like Octane's pad would be better because it stays there, and Ash's portal isn't gonna stay there for a long time. Like by the time you probably knock someone and then you get full reset as a Revenant, by that time the portal is gonna be gone, but the Octane jump pad is gonna stay there, and that's why
Yeah.
also Wraith is also gonna be really good because the portal stays there and you can go back, and that's why it was really good with the Revenant and the crypto meta with Wraith because you could go back, and because like I'm guessing the stun thing But Ash's portal, you can't do that, and it doesn't last too long. That's the reason why she's not going to be used in comp,
Yeah.
because like she doesn't have much maneuver, or not maneuverability, but she doesn't have much versatility. That's why.
Yeah, she's really just meant for one certain type of playstyle, and that's just being aggressive and being combat based. Because that's how she's playing out. Like, Wraith, of course, is like more of the, seems like more of like the support, defensive type of character who's a well rounded, but Ashe is like more of that strategic. I'm not gonna say like more like complex or harder to play, but she has her own type of play style, whereas
Yeah,
Wraith,
it's not
yeah.
like compared to Wraith, it's very different from Wraith. Like people were thinking that it's gonna be the same as Wraith, to where you're gonna be playing really aggressive, but the only reason why Wraith is able to play so aggressive is because she has that phase ability. Like, Ashe doesn't have that, and not only that, but it's gonna be like trying to get away from an area. It's gonna be very like, I don't want to say useless, but like you can, like the one way thing is probably the thing that kills it, because Wraith, you can go back and forth. Like that's huge, because you're able to like outmaneuver an enemy, but in Ashe you're only able to go one direction, you know,
I feel
and you're not
like
able to go back.
people are worried about Ash replacing Wraith and being like better than Wraith. I think that Wraith is just a better hero. Because with Ash, you engage with Portal, and then what? Unless you have someone else with like a uh like get out of jail free card ability, you're kind of stuck there if you lose the fight. But with Wraith, you can take her portal, and if you guys get fucked, you can always take the portal back, or you have like a trump card with your phase. And like Ash, just you have to full commit and you have to win that fight, or you're kind of done.
Yeah, and this is why I feel like Wraith and Ashe will be so good together, because not only that, but if you think somebody's going back to your portal, you can throw a snare on that portal. So if an enemy takes it back to see if they can try to injure you when you're already weak, they're stuck there, and you can instantly kill them and knock them. They can probably take the portal back, but you still have a knock, and you're able to heal up. And another thing is that you have that extra maneuverability, because I feel like Ashe is only good for getting away, not for good for engaging, because you're able to go away from
Or
somewhere,
quick
but you're not able
repositioning.
to go back. Yeah, because yeah, it's good for repositioning, like for high ground, because you have verticality when you're using Ashe's portal, and it's a lot quicker than Wraith's portal. Wraith's portal doesn't have much maneuverability as in verticality, but it's able to move like straight from place to place, and you're able to move while you're making the portal. So you're able to make like last ditch decisions. If you find an enemy that's ratting in a spot, you can instantly just phase while you're in your portal and go somewhere else, instead of having to just commit and stay there, because you're pretty much a sitting duck. You can't go back once you use Ash's portal, and you're stuck there, and you can't phase either. So you either die or you miraculously just win that small fight, and
Yeah, because
even then you're still a sitting duck. So yeah,
Ash's portal has like no travel time, right? It's like an instantaneous thing.
yeah, I
Pretty
think it's a
much.
lot quicker than Wraith.
Yeah, I know Wraith has like a pretty like kind of iffy travel time.
Yeah, because in
Yeah.
some portals are really laggy,
And
and
not to
then
mention
I haven't
the
had any problems with Ash's
right
portal
ground.
yet.
Yeah, I feel like Ashe is a pretty solid legend, but of course she's different in terms of playstyle from a lot of other characters, including Wraith. Because once again, she has her own type of playstyle that's meant to be used, and I did actually predict this like before like she came into the game that she was gonna be like more of a combat focused legend. That's like push, quick reposition, and all that other stuff. And that's why
She's good
she,
for like
yeah,
repeaking. You know what I mean?
yeah. And she's great for anyone who's like a ultra sweat ball, sweaty TTV who wants to push every single fight or go solo.
Do you remember when Asu was saying that Ash was pretty much gonna replace?
Yeah, I remember that. I don't really think
Yeah, that
that's
didn't
gonna be
really come
true.
true.
Yeah. He probably interpreted it as something different, probably. Or he was
I think
probably
he
trying to
meant
bring
like,
up hype for the next
yeah,
character.
it was either that it was like a pay thing, like he was getting paid to hype up, just do a little hype leak. You know what I mean? Like he was getting paid to leak it a little bit, or he was just like interpreting it in a different way.
I
as in like,
mean,
oh, somebody else has a phase.
like
You know
he
what I mean?
was a pro player and he was obviously invited to test the game out earlier than usual because they want competitive players to test out the characters like pretty much I think before even like the game changers have a chance to show their gameplay. So he could have gotten paid, of course, to like play that stuff early and test out the characters early. So yeah, I guess that kind of does make sense, but it's a little more of an indirect paid to hype up people, I guess, in the circumstance.
Yeah, because in all honesty, like I'm trying not to make her seem like a bad legend, but people have been hyping her up to be better than Wraith and to be like an ultra sweaty type of character and like combat based. But she's on like her build and her kit isn't. It's not gonna be as an aggressive as Wraith. Like the reason why Wraiths are so aggressive is because of her the small hitbox and because of her phase ability. Because she's able to be like invulnerable for like a couple seconds, and Wraith doesn't have that. Like the
Yeah,
main downside of Wraith, like her passive, Ashe's passive is a lot better than Wraith's. Like like obviously,
yeah,
but like it's very like a compare and contrast between their ultimate abilities. But I think Wraith's ability or Wraith's tactical ability is way better than Ashe, because Ashe's snare isn't going to be that good in comp, and it's not going to be that good. It's just like a one thing, and there's not like multiple
unless
charges.
if
Like
you're really
Revenant.
good at like tracking or
Yeah,
whatever, then it
if
could be good.
you're able to like predict where somebody's going to go, and you're able to place it there before they're able to get there, and you're able to like snare them, and they're out in the open, then that's big. But if they're like behind cover, there's no point in snaring them because they're still behind cover. So yeah,
Yeah, I feel like
and
Wraith, like I said earlier, it's just a giant trump card. Like if you lose the fight, you can get out without like a penalty. Like
yeah,
it's such a forgiving ability, and it's not like difficult to use. When Ashe is just like it's like it can be very hit or miss.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think Ash's ability, like if Fuse was more into the comp, like if he was more of a better character, Fuse would be huge, with Ash because that snare, if that snare hits in Fuse's ultimate, they wouldn't be able to grapple Octane or do anything like that to get out of Fuse's ultimate, so that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But sadly, Fuse is trash, so yeah,
Then I just remembered what I was going to talk about. I actually saw a little short by the Gaming Merchant earlier that mentioned some that like a wingman opening a door if you shot at the door, and he used
yeah,
Ash's snare going in there, and it snared the enemy team or whatever. So that if that ends up staying for like certain weapons being able to open doors, that never if that doesn't get patched, then that could potentially have some type of gateway for making Ash's tactical a little bit more useful. But that's very situational.
Oh
Ash,
yeah,
to be honest, is
another
pretty
thing.
situational.
Can we please talk about the houses that are at Storm Point? Like, why are they so confusing? Like the layout of those buildings are so confusing.
I
Like it
can
took me like
agree.
4 minutes to get out of a building because I couldn't find the entryway or the exit way. It was so annoying.
You know,
Like I was lost.
I found it pretty easy to get out of the buildings, but I can for
Bro,
sure
you're
see
lucky.
that.
I haven't played, so I don't have a opinion on it. I will probably play like today or tomorrow and try it out because I haven't played Apex in a while.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
been
you
a
should
bit.
try it. Like it if I'm free and I'm able to play with you, I can just come with you and like
Yeah,
we
same.
can just explore. We can pretty much just explore and try shit.
Yeah,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
fuck
Cause
around.
and I not gonna lie, but every time I like I think it was like halfway through season 10, I just stopped playing and I started playing other games. But like I got back just because of season 11, and the only thing that got me into the game was the map. And I thought the car was gonna be a lot better, but the recoil was so awkward. You know what I mean?
It's tough
It
recoil.
reminds me of the RE45.
And we could actually get
So
into the topic of the car SMG right now since we're getting back up onto it. Try to go a
Yeah,
little more into the weapon, I guess.
how's this car? How good is this car, SMG?
It's good.
it's
Like
if I'm being honest,
I,
it feels like an auto prowler. It
I,
sounds like an auto
I
prowler.
think it has a good DPS. It's just the recoil that's not the best about.
Yeah.
Like good DPS. It's like both of my 2K damage games that I had today were with the car SMG and the R301. So I think it is a good weapon for trying to go for high damage games and all that whatever, because you can be aggressive with it, and it actually has a really good hipfire despite it having that crazy recoil. So you can do well with it. Like, of course, the recoil is something you would have to get used to. Like, I've been pretty much training a lot for the car SMG recoil and like the firing range.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I think the recoil, I think it should get buffed, to be honest. I think the recoil should be like, you know, I don't think it should be easier. I just think it should be changed. I just think the recoil pattern should be
Yeah,
changed.
it should have
So
like a
it's not weird.
slightly different pattern. Like, it can still have a bit of kick to it, but it shouldn't have like so much randomness with it.
Yeah, because it goes,
Like,
because,
really sporadic, kind of, just goes everywhere.
well,
Kind
kinda, yeah,
of.
pretty much.
I guess you
Like,
could
once
say
you
it,
get,
yeah.
once you go halfway through the mag, that's when it starts to go random. Because in the beginning of the mag, like the first half, it goes like up to the left, like the RE45, which is awkward because the rest of the guns go to the right. And then after like the halfway point, it starts going wild. Like it just goes weird. And,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and I don't like it. I really don't like it because I don't like awkward recoil patterns. Like the RE45, like that's the only reason why I don't like the RE45. Besides that, I love that gun. But the recoil pattern is so awkward. It just
What
makes
is
it so weird.
What is with guns and horrible recoil lately? Like, Fortnite added the combat assault rifle, and like, you know how Fortnite's known for having like bloom, like just kind of
Oh
random missing
yeah,
your shots?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has bloom and very, very bad recoil. Like, it is so, oh my god. Like, controller players can barely control that shit. It is
yeah,
so bad
yeah.
recoil. Have you seen
That's
it?
exactly the same.
I
Yeah,
have
I
not
have
seen
seen
it
it. It's so
yet.
weird. Like
Dude,
it's the same for the car. It's the same for the
it's
car.
it's the
Personally.
combat assault rifle in Fortnite. It's the newest gun, and the recoil, like, Fortnite never has recoil, and so it's like all the Fortnite players are never used to having recoil. Like, I'm kind of used to it. I play Soldier 76 on Overwatch. He has recoil, so I kind of have like good recoil control. I can use the gun, but like a lot of people are like really pissed off because like they want the recoil nerfed so fucking bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same. It's literally the same for the car. Like some guns that have weird recoil, like the RE45 and the car. Those guns are going to be so hard on controller, and they are hard on controller. Like the gun feels good. It's just the recoil makes it so annoying. That's it.
True.
Besides that, it's solid.
The car is that type of
I hate
weapon
when
you need
It's
to be
literally the
using at
same as
close
Ash.
range.
I hate
Like
when games like ruin fun guns with just like kind of shit mechanics.
yeah. I mean, the mechanics of the car, like the ability that it has, I think it's all right. It's pretty cool. I don't find it that useful, but I mean, it's all right.
You're talking about the ability to swap the ammo from heavier to
Yeah,
light, light to
yeah.
heavy, right? Yeah. There was only like a few times when I was using it where I really had to switch to heavy or
Yeah,
light.
like if I couldn't, like if you can't find heavy ammo and you only find light ammo, that's when it's useful. But
Yeah.
not like mid game. Like you're not gonna be holding light ammo and heavy ammo at the same time. That's just weird. Like that's just weird, Chan.
On that, what the hell? That's cool.
I've been doing that though since I pretty much the
You've been
R301
doing
in the
that?
well the R301 in the car has pretty much been my go-to, and I try
Oh,
to stick to heavy
that
for
makes
the
sense.
car and then light for the R301.
That makes sense.
Shares two ammos.
Yeah.
Is it like different damage values and like fire rates between the two
No.
or something?
I think no, it's the same. And
You
it can
can-
hold different mags.
You can equip just one mag, either a light or a heavy mag, and even if you just swap to a different ammo type, it'll still have the same ammo capacity value.
Capacity,
and
yeah.
whatever.
So you
I
can put
like-
on like
I love
a,
it.
you can put on like an extended heavy mag and then still have like an extended light.
No, you
Yeah.
you can only put one mag
pretty
on
mu-
there, but it
Yeah,
can transfer
you can
to
have
the
you
other.
can only have
Gotcha.
yeah, like it's kind of weird to explain, but you can have one mag. Like if you have a level 4 heavy mag, you pretty much have a level 4 light mag. Like, that's pretty much what it is. But it's only for the car. Like it's not gonna make it a light heavy mag. It's still a light. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But
It's
But
pretty
yeah.
helpful though. Like if you can't find a light mag, you can just find a heavy mag and you're chilling.
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't affect anything. Like if you have a level 4 heavy mag, you pretty much have a level 4 light mag for the
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how that can be really helpful in some situations.
Yeah, it is helpful in some situations. Really is.
Just for RNG's sake.
Yeah. The car's iron sights I feel like are alright. Like, I don't think
Yeah,
they're
it's
the best,
okay.
but they're nice. For some reason, they're nice
It's
to
a-
look at.
I think it's a good gun for the 2x for a bruiser.
Yeah, because like the 2 times bruiser, like when you start going off on range a little more, like that'll really test its recoil. So
Yeah,
it is useful to be using the bruiser with a weapon that has some kicky recoil.
yeah, it's easier to control when it's a
Yeah.
little zoomed in. Besides that, I think that's pretty much all of season 11. Like, I think in the collection event they're gonna add something special. I hope.
Oh yeah,
But you
let's.
were saying
We'll
like
try.
season 12. You said season 12 that they're gonna start adding in game modes and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, I think they're actually gonna start the LTM stuff, and we could probably try talking about what the next collection event's supposed to be like right now if you wanted to. And it's
I just want
supposed
it
to
to be good,
be.
man.
It's gonna
Like,
be
if it's
some sort of not space pirates. Bleh. It's gonna be some sort of, I guess, pirate themed collection event. I don't really know. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's gonna have some sort of similar theme to the battle pass. And I think I actually heard something that it could be themed similar to like, what was it? So you know how like the Gibby and the Mirage skin in the battle pass, they have like these scrapped pilot helmets, pretty much, right? They're that
Oh
That's
yeah.
pretty much what could be like the theme, I guess, for like the next collection event. And obviously, we can expect Watson's heirloom because that's the only one that was in the game files, and it was actually removed, which could mean that it is prepared to release this next event. But there's also
they don't give if they don't give Watson like a car battery and jumper cables, I'm gonna be mad.
I mean, that's not that. It's so it
Um,
looks like some freaking Walmart scanner. That's like
What?
it
has
does.
yeah.
No way. Let me look this up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's
Watson
hopefully it looks
heirloom.
better in game. And there was
Yeah,
also
like
some
Rampart.
speculation that Crypto's heirloom could also be
Saw
next.
this before. Yeah, what the fuck is that?
I think we actually talked about this like the last time you were
Yeah, dude,
here.
it looks like a toy from Dave and Buster's. Bro, what am I looking at? How many
Nobody
tickets is
knows
that
what it
worth, bro?
is. How many tickets is that worth?
Oh,
Oh,
also, I
Looks like
meant
it's
to
trying to
mention,
scam my receipt. What the heck?
I was gonna mention this earlier, but the reason I haven't been here is because I just haven't been on YouTube. I vanished from the podcast, and then I vanished from my own channel. So yeah, I'm gonna get back into it though. Get back into the groove. So
Alright,
yeah, I just wanted to
alright.
say that real quick.
Okay, so kind of back to what I was saying about Crypto's heirloom. There has been some speculation, I think, about Crypto's heirloom possibly being next, because they did mention a crypto buff will be coming in the future. And that they could probably bring his heirloom with it, since they've done that for Rampart and Revenant, right? But I don't really feel like they're going to be doing that for the next collection event, seeing as how Watson's heirloom was in the game files first. And yeah, I think Watson's is the next heirloom. And the same thing was kind of with Rampart's heirloom. To be honest,
I wonder
people
what,
had the same
I wonder
thoughts.
what kind of heirloom, uh, fucking crypto would have. Be interesting.
Well, there was an insider leak that said it was a Jeek though, but I think we're all positive that was a fake insider leak.
Oh, what?
It could have a Jeek though. It's similar to a katana, but it's like a straight blade, not a curve.
Yeah, I'm looking up right now. I see what you mean. Yeah, these be kind of cool, but
I
like,
f-
uh, crypto doesn't seem like the type of person to use a sword.
but also like a Jeek though, I'm pretty sure it's a Korean weapon, if I can remember. And Crypto's Korean,
Fair enough.
so
Huh.
it would kind of make sense. But I really want to see a data knife heirloom. Like it would be a little bit bigger than the usual data knife, and it'd have a similar color scheme to his drone. I really want to see that element in the game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Didn't you hear that they changed the animation for Octane's like draw
Oh
inspect
yeah,
thing?
for the butterfly knife.
Yeah.
I saw that. That's really nice
Yeah,
because
finally.
the inspect animation bugged the living heck out of me when I
It
see
was
that.
so
Just
weird. It was like
"Ugh,
He was like
ugh."
breaking his hand over and over again.
Yes, it was
I'm
so
glad they changed
awkward.
it.
To be honest, yeah. Finally, after like, uh, um, 7 seasons.
Like finally, and now it actually looks like a butterfly knife.
Yeah. Okay, what
Looks
else
good now.
we're
I
gonna
like that.
talk about in regards to the next collection event? Oh yeah, there is the possibility of an LTM for the next collection event, whatever its theme is. It's obviously gonna follow some of the theme of the Battle Pass, like I said. Have something to with scrapped pilot helmets. I don't know, tropical theme. And there is the possibility of an event once again, and there's actually a town takeover that could be involved with it, which involves a Goliath. If you remember the creature from Bloodhound's story from the Outlands from back then, that was a Goliath, and there was a Goliath pit POI that it's in the game files, and it's supposed to have a Goliath in it. So that could become like some sort of town takeover we get in the next collection event, or it could come sometime further down the road. And there has been a small insider leak that was talked about that involves actually a Goliath being on Stormpoint, and that would be around a little bit larger than Pathfinder and Gibraltar, and it'd have a big hitbox and be able to two-hit you. So
Elias.
yeah, so that we can expect the Goliaths to come at some point, and there is the possibility that Cryo Grenade, which was, and we talked about it before, the freeze grenade basically, and that's also the possibility of something that's coming in the next collection event, because they pretty much have released different loot items in collection events. So I'd expect them to add that in the next collection event if possible, but we don't really know.
When is Respawn gonna hop on the Fortnite trend and get like the weekend to perform? Come on.
I know, right? When are they gonna get Travis Scott? Like what?
Yeah, when are they gonna get Ariana Grande up in this bitch?
For real.
I remember
Dude.
Like, what the heck?
I remember back like at the end of season 6 when like there was the rocket taking off to Olympus. People were thinking it might be like a live event or whatever similar to
Yeah.
that. I would have preferred that.
Live
to be
events, or
honest.
they just do like, oh, just this is the new map.
It would like a live event pretty much that teases the next map. I mean, we
Uh,
all knew
I would've
Olympus
missed
was
that.
coming before like it was confirmed, so it wasn't wouldn't be surprising, but that still would have been cool to see the rocket like take off or whatever. That would have been cool.
like at least like, did they at least get like cutscenes?
No, there weren't any cutscenes for it because it was just like in game on World's Edge, the
Oh.
map. So we really didn't get to see much, or whatever. And I think now that we're done, kind of like going over like stuff about the next possible collection event, there's already some stuff in the game files about an anniversary event. There was an Epic Horizon skin, I think it was, that had like a that had some purple pink coloring with it. So that could possibly mean that instead of a red themed anniversary collection event, or an event, I don't think they're gonna do another collection event. Well, they could, since like it was heirloom shards that were the reward you would get for completing it. So they could do the same thing. What was that? Oh, it's
Phone.
Bro.
phone buzzing.
Hey, yo, my man. The hoes are coming.
Okay. Well, anyways,
Is it
yeah,
Angelica?
nobody knows. But yeah, there isn't too much to go over in terms of the anniversary event, but it seems to be that there will be some pinkish purple skins coming in the future. Oh, and back towards the next collection event, there is some skin names in there that are for Wraith. There's a Wraith skin that I know of, and there's a few others. There might be a few, Pathfinder, I don't know. I need to look back at all that stuff, because I usually forget the stuff I learn. But yeah, there will hopefully be some limited time modes coming this season that will really spice things up, give us a really good fresh start, because things have been a little stale. And maybe a new like lore event could come sometime down the road. We haven't gotten a lore event since season 7 with the Fight Night collection event for Pathfinder, so I really want to see something that involves a new like Legends town takeover or whatever, which would be really nice and really cool.
I gotta show y'all this image I just saw. What the fuck? Yo. Yo.
He's gonna send Apex Legends porn.
Oh no. That ain't true.
Bro. Yo, my man got the. Oh my god, this.
Whoa, that setup though.
What the hell am I looking at?
Oh, that is
grind.
interesting. Put the setup on the top bunk. Oh,
For real.
if anything comes loose,
Bro.
that's not gonna be too pretty. Especially
Sit
if you're
down
sleeping.
too fast.
Crush him.
Bro, if you sit down too fast, you're fucking dead.
If someone gets up there and you're sleeping, that ain't gonna be. That's not gonna
Like,
end
if you-
well.
Doug,
The
if
grind.
you think about it, if you have sex on the bottom bunk, your PC is gonna fall over. Think
For
about
real.
it. Priorities.
This is a small reason why I get a little afraid of like bunk beds, because you're either going to get crushed by something or someone on the top bunk, or the top bunk is going to fall and you're going to end up being the one to crush something or somebody. Like both
Either
just
way, you're
sounds
dead.
Crusher.
Like,
Better to
you're
better
dead.
to be the better to be the crusher than the crushed.
I guess,
You
but
can get
it's
crushed
still
by your
like
medical fees.
it's still traumatic though.
True. You still gotta pay a lot of money and go to prison. What? Would you get arrested for that?
Yeah, it's not your fault. It's kind of like a malfunction.
Yeah, I don't
Pretty
think it's
much.
like your fault. I think it's like the company's fault.
Well, I mean, maybe it's your fault for being a fat ass, but
Maybe it's your
there's
fault for
just-
eating that fucking burrito, dude.
or
For
nothing,
real.
or nothing's at fault. So I don't know how exactly that would work. You'd probably
Dude.
have to look it up.
Who knows?
why are we talking about this?
I don't
Because-
know, man.
Because Vision sent a
This-
picture of a punk bed
Now,
that's
this
overloaded
is
with a setup.
this is content. This is
This is
content.
what we're supposed
Yes.
to be talking about. This is
This
why we're
is
here.
content. Yeah, we should.
Apex content? Nah, Apex memes. What?
Wait,
don't
what?
fucking know.
Set up meme.
I don't
We should
know.
just find
crushed
stuff that's
by-
like
Getting
absolutely
crushed by fat
stupid
person meme.
and react to it.
Oh
Yes.
my got you, bro.
This is what the podcast was supposed to be about.
We're
You wanna see a
finally
image I got
extended
yesterday on
some
server? This was great.
stuff. What a perfect time to level up. No, not perfect. Coincidence?
Congratulations.
Congratulations, I fricked your sister. Says, quote, Poketoo. Poketoo.
I'm gonna face reveal.
For real?
This is me, by the way.
Bro.
That is me.
Bro, you're so pale.
That's my lamp.
That's brighter
my
than the
lamp shining
sun.
in my face.
Bro.
That's my lamp shining in my face. I have a very, very bright lamp, and I'm very much white.
His parents are flashbangs.
Interesting, to say the least.
Dude, I am a living fucking floodlight.
You're looking like a ghost.
Flashbang human sex.
What?
Whoa there.
What is this? I forgot what this screenshot is. Oh.
Somehow I
Like,
don't think it was a joke
was a
works in
joke.
court. I mean, yeah.
It depends on the context. Like,
Pretty
I
much.
killed your wife. It wasn't a joke.
I guess.
Hmm.
What
Who
just
knows, bro?
Nobody got this meme. I'm pretty sure you'll get it. Like nobody got it. Like
Yo,
when I
yo,
posted
mess
it,
with
nobody
China
got it.
and you better beware, cause nothing bad ever happened in I
Tiananmen
get it.
Square.
Oh,
Do you actually get it though?
Yeah.
No.
I get that. And then there's an angry pig that has.
Is that a turban?
He has it
A
in like
mummy
a
wrap?
turban. A mummy wrap.
A mummy wrap.
What is that? P.
Nobody knows. Oh, P.
You
That pig looks like it has wings.
want to see something very, very cursed?
Yes.
Sure. Sheesh. That
What?
Doge.
Oh my god,
Whoa!
the She Squirrel image. I love that image.
Oh my
There's-
gosh.
There's one where it's like Squid Game Roblox.
I saw that one.
Down bad.
Zam. She's 12.
Damn.
I don't know what this is. Oh.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Those were Pornhub comments.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I have one. You'll probably find one.
I may not be Jewish, but the
the
drip,
drip
is
is
real.
real.
I remember my
Oh.
friend used to think it was Israelian.
Here it is. Creme de la crop.
I'm watching this on mute. I put the sound on and she's barking. I've seen that.
Oh my gosh.
Have you?
This is just ludicrous.
This is
Pretty
Bro,
much.
what are we even doing?
We went from Apex Legends stuff, talking about what our thoughts are about Season 11, then we talked about events and stuff, and now we're just looking at ridiculous stuff in live chat. I don't think I'm going to show it because, yeah, I don't know if I will get striked for any of this. But just to be safe, we won't be showing any of this on camera. You could probably look through the live chat on your own time and look at all this stuff. Whatever.
The size of a part in your body, what would it be? I was born with abnormally small lungs, so naturally my penis.
For real.
Yeah,
real,
there's just
for
a
real.
Pornhub- I love the Pornhub comment. Is this a true story?
Bro,
I think my
Wait, have I
cheekbones
showed you
are
this
starting to
before?
get sore.
I think I've showed you this before.
Sometimes you don't take a shit. The shit takes you. Oh dang, you fell in. That's sad.
He's being grabbed. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh
He's being-
jeez.
He's
Yeah, I
being
saw it.
yanked in that. He's not falling.
That's what happens when you let your crap stay in your bowels for too long. It's gonna mutate into something like that. Oh
That's like
gosh.
that's like cum. That's like when your cum turns into or what's it called?
Oh.
When it turns into mushrooms. That's exactly what happens.
Let's
That's
still
what it's
cipher
like.
this image, right? It's on r/FNAF cringe. This guy is looking over a this guy's looking over a sink, and the sink is filled with some sort of liquid, it looks like. Freddy is in the mirror, and he's just saying FNAF. The comments of this post say, "Why did he come in the sink? SMH, you fool. Arid would never come. That's just... Wait, maybe that's cum. Yeah, that's definitely cum. Better to come in the sink than to sink in the cum."
Oh my gosh. I think
Bro,
that
what-
is
that's just
pretty...
typical Reddit.
I think this is pretty much been enough. We've escalated from what was probably 10 up until a 10,000. You know
Yes.
what? Fuck you. Unhot's your dog.
Bro.
I've
What
seen
fun.
that before.
Unversions your olive oil.
What
Interesting.
the-
Interesting. Alright. We have had a pretty strong episode so far. We've pretty much... Yeah, this has been a great time. We've covered quite a bit of stuff, and now, like, our thoughts on Season 11, stuff about future events, and ridiculous memes, and whatever. Again, you can look at this stuff on your own time in the live chat. I'm not showing it on screen. But anyways, I think we're going to try to wrap this up here for the podcast episode. Some of us have some stuff to do. And, yeah.
Yeah, I got hose to deal with.
For real.
So anyways, so to the YouTube audience, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Triple A-Pex Podcast. And if you did actually enjoy it, be sure to give it a like. And if you're brand new here to this channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on that bell icon so you can get notified for whenever I upload a new video. And it'll also be very useful for whenever a new podcast episode goes up on YouTube. You can be notified of whenever it is live. Be sure to join the Discord server as well. That's where we're doing the podcast from live. So we had to delay it by a day, but we usually do it on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, so if you want to listen to the podcast live at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays, then do be sure to join the Discord server. The link will be in the description for you. Also, I have a Guilded server, so if you have a Guilded and are looking for any servers to join on there, I'll leave a link to that in the description for you as well. Also, be sure to follow my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/3LNEX and follow my Instagram as well at 3LNEX.gg. And yeah. Do you guys want to plug in your socials as well?
I don't know. Follow me. Yes.
Or twitch.tv/VisionOG, Instagram is Vision_OW, YouTube is Vision, my Pornhub account,
Oh, yeah, OnlyFans.
my Clash of Clans tag. That's about it.
Alright. Yeah, once again, that's going to be all for episode 19 of the Triple A-Pex Podcast. Thanks for watching, and we will see you all later. Bye-bye. Say
Bye.
bye-bye.